action style. Commendations to the team that is working in this area. Them are now doing the stone walls, working. So we expect a nice piece of, a fine piece of road out of this section. Normally we see people sit down and laying curb wall. These men have clearly found the formula. As you can see, this big bad excavator claws out, properly steel, and is hard at work. But tag team style, you can see that this section of the road has been widened. For example, look on the next one and come now. Redevelopment, where we will give you the hottest thing that is happening on this Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. And at this time we are now at Church Corner, Morant Bay, or Church Street, and we are heading westwardly in the direction of Yalas. And so as we progress towards the roundabout in Morant Bay, we will approach a section that is now under construction. Also, we will drive past the Goodyear factory. What we do notice is that they have started some minor works, like putting in the holes for post and so on. Also, we noticed that there's an excavator and a front end loader within that vicinity. As you can see, the men out working, sweeping the streets to make sure that the road is clean at all times. Unlike some parishes, we have, you don't see trash on the road like how you don't see it in other parishes. So St. Thomas is fairly clean. Our St. Thomasians, they are clean people. With that said, as we pass, we can notice nothing is taking place at the oval today. But if you look to the right, you can see a front end loader, you can see a dump truck, and of course that green excavator. Assuming that this is the build-up, as they might not be ready to take on the full action as yet. I know that some of my subscribers want me to go over there and do a video, but I really don't see the point of doing a video just yet, knowing that you would have been familiar with the area and what is there, and that I don't just want to, I think it's all about the action, so you can see what's taking place. With that said, this stretch of road, they have installed water pipes in these areas already, and you can see that both sides is fairly tattered. As you can see that the road is not in the best of shape. However, as we progress, this is in the Belvedere area. you can see that the water logs, and you can see the numerous potholes. As time progresses, I assume that they will do what is necessary to ensure that this area is in the best of shape. You can see the men doing the drain work. I would love to give you some of the action today. They're running the tape measure using a bobcat in that hole. You can also see the drain work taking place to my right, properly sealed, as you can see. And of course, as you look, you can also see the fruit vendors out doing their thing. You know, occasionally the men will get thirsty, so there are jellies on the side to compensate for that thirst. Alright, so we progress same way as we can see. As we move further, we hope to give you some of the big bad actions of today. The car is a bit swift on this road, so I'm taking my time. You can see the men out working also, putting up that box culvert. The things are looking impressive as we progress. So, as we progress, you get a look at that box culvert. You can see that they have intentions of widening and lifting this road significantly. Of course, you see the JPS poles nonchalantly languish over the road. As to why they're not making much effort to move them as soon as possible, I'm not sure. But what we do see are the men working. You can see this gentleman here putting in some rebar. You can see that the area is properly sealed, and is hard at work. Yeah, one of them work. You can see the big truck or the big dump trucks. You can see that this section of the road has been widened, and this is out by Roselle. It has also come to my understanding that the only depot within the parish that often serves Portland and St. Thomas for the vast amount of traffic that exists here has been relocated to somewhere in Kingston. I don't know whose brainchild was that, but clearly, you know, they are not thinking about the journey that we may have to take to get into Kingston to get that kind of service. Nonetheless, let's hope good sense will prevail. I had a friend who went there this week, and he said he was unable to get services. They directed him rather to somewhere in Kingston. He said that he will have to use his Google map, and we all know that's oftentimes not reliable. So the inconvenience, as you can see, the men are digging from the side, removing the soft dirt and backfilling into heavy material that can take pressure. Also, if you look to the right there, you can see the drain work taking place. Alright. Working. A lot of work taking place today. I must say, commendations to the team that is working in this area. They are relentless. and we can see that they have just come from their compound where they have used thus far to do a lot of their work. You can see that's not chicken, they're jerking at work, them at work. This section of the road is wider compared to what we were accustomed to. So we are now at White Horses, cruising past White Horses primary, and you can see that they have expanded the road. You can also see that it is significantly wider, and it makes sense for them to do so. Also, as we cruise, we can see the border fall off of the van. Yeah. You see, bud? Yeah. So as you can see, an excavator mashing the work. Take a good look, the men are hard at work. Only in St. Thomas we get to see action like that. Taking the compactors as they expand this section of the road. Tag team style. They're working and a chicken them a jerk. I had to just blow up that man because his 2x6 were falling off. And as you can see, the team is out working, putting in the curb walls. Since the days of Paul Bogle, we have not experienced this kind of development. And it's looking very good. Normally we see people sit down and laying curb wall. These men have clearly found the formula. Something that looks really neat. And it's like them just draw it aside. Like, you know, like when you're down in North America and you look and see them and put in the curb wall and them have the machine and it just a run and a put in the curb wall. That is what I'm seeing here today. This is looking very impressive. Looking very good. And it seems to be working a lot faster than somebody that would normally sit down and put in some little blocks. This is looking good. You don't have to see this cinnamon. And you know, oftentimes I do not know if the company doing this section is a local or an international company. But what I am sure of, I see local men and women working hand in hand to get the job done. But it's a clear indication that this company that is doing this section, and I see some signs that says S&G, they take a different level of discipline and pride in what they are doing, and they should be commended because not often you see if there are local contractors that take so much pride in the work. You can see where they have removed this side. Of course, you know that these sections will be what you would consider water area. And what I have noticed is that they have invested or put in place the infrastructure to deal with the water that sheds in this area. So I expect a sweet piece of road when they complete this section, because them looking good. With that said, as we progress closer to the waterfall, we can see men out taking a shower. But it would be nice if the JSIF or one of those tourism products would adopt this area. Firstly, they may want to push that faller back a bit from the road, so that when this magnificent piece of road is completed, that the persons crossing the road don't get flat out. So it's just a cry I'm making from now. I don't expect the contractors to take on that responsibility. That's solely the responsibility of those dealing with tourism and so on. With that said, we can see where they have done moderate scrapings at this location. We can see things looking good. So we expect a nice piece of, a fine piece of road out of this section. Looking very good. What I've noticed that they have done so far, it's looking very good. And the only thing me see, what me kind of have a teeny tiny issue with, is one corner up here. So I mean, for everything else it looks relatively good, but the corner up here, so yeah, see vehicle might come around and them have to come all the way over here, so, and as you can see, the wall is disintegrate. I have to negotiate it carefully. See, me have to stop. I just think that they could have widened this section some more. You know, scrape off a little piece of the corner here, so, you know, and make sure that when those heavy trailer that will be servicing the urban center, they will have, you know, I mean, it's early days relatively, so maybe they will attack these sections eventually. But when you look at it, these corners are blind corners and they are very tight. So I'm just going to watch and see if they will take them on eventually. But for now, they are doing a very good job. They are moving at a very good pace. Other subscribers will tell you, well, they can't say the same for other areas that are being done by our local contractors. However, I must say that this section, you know, well, probably more widen that section of the road there, because you can see the kind of problem we encounter, especially if a truck broke down around here. So I hope them add one extra 6 feet to the road around here, so, because if there's no place to pull over should somebody puncture park, whatever, then there's going to be serious issues when it comes to you know, driving this section. But what we can see so far is that they have done tremendous amount of work Yeah, so we can see that they are improving that corner, and as we thrust towards Botany Heights, we can see that this dump truck is holding the road hostage. So this is the community of White Horses, as I've always bragged about, in terms of the people. They are always selling something, they are industrious, that they always have mangoes, that they always have some fruits, honey and such. You can see the fruit vendors and the vendors out. So you buy some, man, you have to be lazy to be hungry. These people are hard working. This is what we encounter presently when there's a truck on the road. Something that, for example, look on the next one and come now. So you see if them road are not developed in anticipation for all the bigger trailers them, I gonna have some serious problems on this one. But I expect that the developers will take these things into consideration to alleviate these problems that we currently face. Hopefully one day these corners will be a thing of the past. And as you can see at this time, you can see excavation taking place on top of the hill. You can see where they are building a new retaining wall. So when we look to the right, you can see massive excavation taking place here. But let's just look and see how this will play out. You can see the men working to build up this bridge. The chicken them a jerk. Working. Crank steel. Don't like the idea of going on to this bridge while the truck is on it. As you can see, both sides. Work taking place. Looking good. This is why they are expanding the road, because when there would be heavy units like this, nothing can pass. As you can see, the men out working. They are demolishing some of the existing walls. 2 trucks at this time. It's a good thing that they had widened this section. The men out doing the stone walls, working, not jerking chicken. Botany Bay, close to where just going to clean the windshield a bit. As you can see, this big bad excavator, claws out, looking very good, having its claws out. And you're overtaking, you should have go straight around the man, because apparently you can't wait. Anyway, people, learn that when you're up on the road, especially going around a corner, never overtake a vehicle unless you have clear view like now. Never overtake around a corner, never try to overtake a truck, especially a truck around a corner. Them things there will get you killed if you were to not abide by the basic road codes. You can see the work taking place out this area. Massive amounts of stones. Okay. So as I said, we'll terminate the video somewhere here in Pamfret, and you'll be able, and that's basically it for today. Thank you very much for the support as always, and remember to subscribe and leave your feedback. Let us know how you feel about the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. How you feel about this development. We see where they are doing some work on the side. Not sure exactly what that is called, but let's see how they progress with that. You can see some orange thing. So we're basically in Pamfret. And not sure we're going to go any further. Do we have anything else to see? Yeah, I think that is it for today. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings always to you and your family. Have a wonderful weekend. Bless.